Hey guys, it's Kip here from KDC Marketing, and in today's video I want to talk about the difference between a Wix CMS section and a CMS page, so dynamic section or dynamic pages. And I was recently asked a question about this in one of my YouTube videos, so I wanted to expand on it a little bit more and break down the difference between a dynamic section and a dynamic page. So if you're new to Wix Studio, the Wix CMS is just your content management system. It allows you to create dynamic pages and dynamic content all across your website, and it works in collections. So you can see I have two collections here. I have a team members and a team members version 2, and these collections are like data sets. So I have different fields, and then I have data in each of these fields, and I can manage the status of these fields, whether they're hidden or whether they show on the website, like you'll see here in this one. Some of these are visible, and so these are your collections or your data sets inside of Wix Studio. And so this website here has some Wix CMS enabled, so the content management system. So for example, this form, if you were to fill it out, it populates these team members down here, and these team members show or hide based on the collection. So if I go back into my collection here, if I want these team members to show up on my homepage, I have to make another one visible. So I'm going to make this project manager visible here. I'm actually going to do this sales representative here and show. And so now I'll have another team member show up here, Maria Garcia, and you can see that there's no picture here. I'd have to add the picture, but I was able to manage that content through my content management system. So let's get into the breakdown of the section versus the pages. So right now in my pages tab, you can see that I'm on the home page, and like I just showed you, there's a couple of sections in here that are using the content management system. They're connected to data sets, and that's how you manage them on the website. But there's also dynamic specific pages, and you can see those listed here. So under team member pages, this is dynamic. It has that little brackets. So these are dynamic specific pages. So if I go to add a new page, I get two different options. I have a standard blank page and I have a dynamic page. And these dynamic pages, they have 4 presets. There's a list page, an item page, a blank page, and a manage content, a manage item page. So these pages are different than a standard page because they have expanded capabilities. So let me show you a couple of things that I mean by expanded capabilities. So for example, you'll notice over here that I have in my team members all, right now I have 6 team members on the website. And if I go to my team members title, which is like my item page, each of these team members has their own specific page dedicated just to them. And I can switch these. So graphic designer has their own page, and the marketing manager has their own page. And so this is all working dynamically behind the scenes. So for example, on the left-hand side here, you don't see a page that says marketing manager or graphic designer or QA specialist or software engineer. And that's because these pages are being managed by my content management system. So imagine if you had a website where you had 100 team members, it would get really hard to manage all of that 100 pages individually. So the dynamic page allows you to manage it through your content management system. So all you have to really worry about is this one page here. You design this page once, how you want it, and connect all the pieces to the data, and then you can have as many collection items as you have in your collection will show up on the website dynamically. And each of those web pages is going to get their own specific URL. And that's shown over here. So you have the team members page, and then you have the team members item, so that you're each going to get their own specific URL every time you create a new item in here. So that's one of the really cool capabilities of the dynamic pages. And then the other thing is this one, for example, this team members all. So this one is another dynamic page where it's going to list all the team members for me automatically. And so you can see when I added that sales rep, and also if I add another one here, it's going to just add it automatically. So I'm going to show my data analyst, and pretty soon it's going to show up here. So this is going to be where I can see all of my collection items on one page, and then the other page is each individual item gets their own page. Then the other page that we looked at was the manage content page. So this is where I can manage my collection items from this page directly. And when I create a dynamic page where I can manage content, all of these collection fields are pulled in automatically based on my collection. So again, this is a page where I can go in and I can update these items if I want to from the website. Now, I can also update them here in my collection. So I can add an item here, I can delete it, I can change, like if I wanted to change the name of this person to John Jones, I can do that directly from here, but I can also do it from a page on the website. So maybe I want to have site members go in and update this content. That's what I would use this page for. And then the other blank page that we looked at, that's just if you want to design a page. It's sometimes easier to start with a blank page. It'll connect it to your data set that you pick up here. But then you can start from scratch. But I should also mention that you can design any of these pages however you want. You can go in and customize them. Doesn't mean you have to just stick with these current presets. It's just a helpful way to get started. The other thing about team member pages that's unique is they have different SEO settings. So if I go into this SEO basics, I get these options for the title tag, meta description, and the image, and I can add these dynamically. So this is going to pull directly from my collection, and so in this case I have the person's name, their title, and then a manual element added here. But I can change this up. So maybe for my title tag I actually want to have their department and their name, and so for each individual page it's going to pull in, and now you're kind of seeing that happen. It's pulling in their data specifically. So I'm going to switch this back to just their name, their title, and their name here, and then we can go back and look at the different fields. So you can also do this for the meta description. If there was a team bio or something, you could add that here. If you look at the regular pages, so just a standard page, if I go into SEO basics, I don't get those same edit options. I just have my title tag, meta description here because I'm not able to leverage that dynamic data. So those are a couple of differences there, and then you'll always see this dynamic here for any collection that you have. If I were to add a new collection, like my team members V2, if I were to add a new page for that, then you would see another dynamic preset here. So let me just do that real quick so you can see what that would look like. So as soon as I add this to the website, you can see that my new collection shows up here in its own subset, and it has dynamic just like the other one does. And then it's pulling in all this stuff dynamically, and pretty soon this data will show up here, which is really cool. The reason it's actually not showing up is because in that collection, none of those are marked as visible. So all of these are hidden, but if I mark all of these as visible, then it's going to go in a minute and populate all this stuff with all my team members. So let's go to the homepage and talk a little bit more about these dynamic sections. So these are just regular sections on the homepage, but what I've done to make these work is I have connected these elements to the data set. So this little icon here is the connector icon, and so you can see this image here is connected to the team members data set and is connected to the profile image field. And then these text fields are connected to the name field, and so you can connect these to whatever field you want. But this is where just the section is dynamic. So only this section is dynamic, not the entire page. So I can't edit the page settings. It doesn't create a unique URL for each of these members. And then same with this form, I've connected these fields to a data set as well. So this is another dynamic section, but this page in and of itself is just a static homepage with some dynamic content in it. That's the really cool thing about Wix CMS is you can create dynamic content on any page you want, on standard pages and dynamic pages. And you can manage your content all through your content management system. So you can manage it inside your collection here instead of having to go to your website and change things, because the CMS options are also available for you on the back end. So if I go into my website here and I go to CMS, on the left hand side, I can also manage my content items from the dashboard. Like I can turn some of these off and they'll update on the website in real time. So now we can go back and check this. We just hid all those members from the new collection that we just added as a new page. And so you'll see that some of those are going to be hidden now when I come back here once the website loads. So I'm going to go to my new team members page, and once this loads here, I think there's only 5 because we hid 4 of them, and so it worked. So that's the really cool thing is whether for dynamic pages or dynamic sections, it's all managed in this system instead of in your website. I actually think it was this one here. So I only have 9 items, so I hit 4, and so there's 5 left. And you can see that that matches what I just did in the dashboard. So I hope that helps to explain the difference between dynamic sections and dynamic pages. Dynamic pages just have expanded capabilities and different SEO settings, and they allow you to do some really, really cool things to help you manage your websites more efficiently and more effectively. So that's what I have for today's video, and I will see you in the next video.